welcome to a couple of instigators. Oh, I'm finally back. 2 weeks. 2 weeks you haven't heard from me, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened. But right now I have two guests on, and we are going to talk about Facebeef, which is fighting on Facebook. We can say Twitter, Instagram, anything that involves social media where people really argue that have never seen each other in their entire life and they just fight. And I have to say, I'm the queen of this. I am the number one instigator. So first we have Margaret.
Hi.
Margaret's been on before. She's one of our what did we call you as far as the millennial? I don't know. We had a name for you. But I will play the avocado song, even though I know you hate it.
I hate it so much.
I know you hate that avocado song.
I don't even like avocados.
Well,
what?
All right, that's fine. I'll give you that. And Jen.
Hi.
Jen is here. So we are all here to talk about what?
Beef.
Face beef. Oof. It's hard for me to remember. All right. So, anyway, I'm going to, I have been so busy that I have not had a chance to instigate. I haven't even read our group chat to each other. I can barely keep up. I know I read a little bit of it and I'm like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? And then I'm just like, I'm more annoying than anything because I'm so behind. So, let's start with Margaret. Have you been instigating some good face beefs?
I'm more of a spectator.
It's a spectator sport for you.
Because you do most of the beefing for everybody, Cindy.
Oh, I know. I gotta stop.
I can't do better than you. But
no, I'm gonna say Jen is really good.
She is.
Jen?
But I'm nice about it.
No, you're not.
What?
You're not nice on a different... Jen?
I'm not nice where?
Sometimes you're not nice.
Oh,
and that's okay, because I'm never nice. So wait, I don't want to mention any boards that we're on, whatever, right, because it's fair. It's several different ones. I mean, I fight on the Bachelor in Paradise board.
Right. Yeah, I'm not on that one. Yeah. I'm in some of these mom groups, even though I'm not a mom.
Yeah.
I just find the dynamic fascinating, and they're all just insane.
Oh, tell me about this, because I have not. Honestly, that's a board I've stayed away from.
This is how Margaret and I actually met.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
To a crazy mom board. Neither of us are moms.
Right.
Wanted me onto this board because of these crazy people.
You
are.
I think this board has something to do with why I'm not a mom, because I'm like, is this what it does to you?
It's crazy. They fight over children's clothes. They fight over what they're feeding their kids. I don't
Well, and then it just spirals, and they post these wacky anonymous dilemmas that they have, their husband is sleeping with their sister and the preschool teacher, and what do I do?
Stop it.
Do you really need the internet of strangers to tell you what to do in that situation?
That was a legit one a couple weeks ago. Her husband is sleeping with her kid's kindergarten teacher.
Stop
and
it.
The kindergarten teacher is texting the dad, say goodnight to my favorite little girl, and your mom's such a crazy the mom's such a crazy person, and yeah, so they just come onto these anonymous boards and ask for help. What do you do?
Well, and I can kind of see where, I can understand, I personally wouldn't do that, but I can see how people who are probably isolated, you know what I mean, that don't have much of a social life, and being a mom of small children, let's say a stay-at-home mom, and nothing against stay-at-home moms, it's a hard job, right? But you do feel very isolated. Your only adult talk is probably when your partner or husband does come home. You've been home all day with these little kids. You've been changing diapers. You really haven't had a lot of adult conversation. Honestly, nobody really picks up the phone and talks anymore, right? Everybody just texts, you know what I mean? So I would guess if you're thinking your husband is having an affair with the kindergarten teacher, like, who would
Well, I think they were asking too if they should tell the school.
like, should I tell the school that's what's going on, right?
That was the
Yeah.
question. They wanted the teacher fired.
They want, okay. So, tell me what some of these responses were.
Oh, yeah, do it. Go straight to the school board. Have her fired and get your tuition back.
Get your tuition back. So, was it like a Catholic school?
Yeah, I think
Private
it was
or-
some kind of religious school because
Yeah,
they were talking about like a moral code or whatever that employees have to sign.
Yes. Well, so she kind of has a point then, right? If that's the case with the school, right?
Right. But so what if it was a public school? What do you do?
That's true. So really, I mean, I guess if the teacher signed a moral code, I don't know, like now we're into a whole other topic that I don't know. But
My thing was, like,
Yeah.
what do you do if your husband's sleeping with the woman that works at the grocery store? Like, do you go and tell her boss at the grocery store? Like, I think as long as it's not impacting the kid.
I think it all comes back to women's tendency to blame the other woman.
Always.
You know what I mean? It's kind of irrelevant if it's the teacher or the grocery store girl. Like, just leave your husband. Like, who? And then who cares? Kind of.
Right. You're right. And it is. It's definitely blaming the woman. Like, you know, and women do that. Is that it's fear-based because they don't want to be alone. So they're looking for a reason to stay with him and blame somebody else.
Because I promise you, this woman's not going to call her husband's work and get him fired for having an affair.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he owes her more than the other woman. The other woman didn't promise not to cheat for the rest of her life.
Right. So did you guys like get into an argument with? Was this the particular?
No.
Okay.
Because Jen usually, like, I really stopped commenting in that group, but Jen, you comment a lot. I see.
I jump in there.
How did you end up in a group like this? You guys don't even have kids.
Do you really
No,
want to
I know how I
Yes.
got there.
All right, let's start with
Remember
Jen.
how I got there?
Yeah.
So another board, the board where you used to hate us.
Right.
So Margaret mentioned she was on this board and they had all these crazy pictures.
Uh-huh.
Is this going to go on the air?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably can't discuss what was on there. We'll do that in the after show
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There was a really raunchy picture that was on there,
Right.
and she brought it up, and that's how she added me to the board.
Oh, was it the exercise ball?
That exercise ball.
At first, I couldn't
Grandma was
remember.
trying to tell.
Okay.
Okay. So that's okay. So Margaret was on there first.
And I found it because I collect Lily Pulitzer, and I'm in all these groups, and like reselling it and trading it and whatever is like a big thing. But then you always have like crap. This is like a whole nother internet hole you could fall down with like women fighting. Is like there's bad like etiquette, like when you're selling your used clothes on these boards and stuff. And so they create a whole board for people who are like really crappy, like in the transaction, like they didn't pay, they like scammed someone, they sent them stuff. People are always sending
Dirty
out
clothes.
They're sending out shorts with like crotch stains, and people freak out. I mean, understandably so.
Yeah.
So there's these boards for people.
So there's
to
like
go to,
another board where you can kind of go talk about the sellers.
Yes, and then
It's like a buyer
apparently-
beware board.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so there's like Lily specific ones, but then there's like it bled into like a general one that I ended up getting added to, where it's like the kids' clothes that the moms fight over that Jen was talking about.
Right.
And then like someone mentioned this moms group in there, and so of course I had to go see what the drums were in there because
Right.
I'm nosy, and here we are.
Okay. So
Oh, we should
Let's-
talk about our newest board.
what's that?
Did you see the article about, actually, Margaret, you can probably tell the story better, about the wedding?
Oh, the wedding shaming board.
Yeah, the woman that wanted the crazy, crazy wedding and wanted all of her friends to send money.
Yes, Cindy, did you see this?
No.
This girl, in the story, it started in this Facebook group and it went viral. In fact, the next day my dad texted it to me and he had no idea. I already knew what it was from.
Come on.
And yeah, and so it's this girl, they live in like somewhere in the Midwest, and they wanted to have a wedding, and I think the Turks and Caicos, and it was going to cost $60,000, and they were demanding that all of their wedding guests paid $1,500 each. And when they
Just to cover
refused,
the wedding. That was not travel expenses. That was just towards her to throw the wedding.
because her exact quote was she wanted to live like a Kardashian for a day.
So she wanted the guests to pay $1,500 each to attend.
Well, that's like not even their airfare and hotel, just to like help her pay for the wedding.
So, and then this whole this whole post like went viral, right? Because she was crazy.
Yes. Well, because what that's one thing to want it, but what made her really crazy is when people were like telling her like, yeah, we're not coming. She made this like elaborate Facebook post, like basically saying, I hate you all. Why won't you just help me pay for my wedding? I'm ending the engagement and going to like backpack in South America for 2 months to like deal with this. Like, she's bananas.
Okay,
it's like millennial entitlement at its worst.
Yes. So, right. And that's exactly what the next show that I do have planned is. We are going to talk about the millennials and the entitlement. And that's kind of funny because the whole millennial entitlement word has come up twice with 2 different occasions with me today. Yeah, so I was going to completely touch on that. So this is a fine example of millennial entitlement at its best. Oh boy. What other do you guys mostly go on, like, what is it called? Reddit? Read it? What is that?
Love Reddit.
Reddit.
I dabble in the Reddit. I don't love the layout. It's a little hard to follow, but I will go there from time to time.
It literally has everything and anything you could ever want.
Right.
And a lot of things you don't want.
Well, yeah. I know Jen has sent me some really funny, what are they called, memes? Mm-hmm. That you've gotten on Reddit. They're very, very funny. But no, that format's way too difficult for me to even try to navigate. I pretty much stick to causing trouble on Facebook with my other favorite is Fox News. That's kind of slowed down for me right now because Trump is being so ridiculous that they're having trouble defending him. So they're pretty much quiet on this right now. Normally I can get into some good political battles with them, and Amy's very good at political, getting into the battles with them too. But since I blocked somebody on my Facebook,
I was gonna say, you don't need Fox News. You've got a friend for that.
Right. Well, but did you notice that? I mean, since we're talking about Facebook, you notice I have a couple very like right-wing friends who like to comment under my posts. And I'm very sneaky about my posts. Like, I really don't give an exact opinion. I just it's kind of like hooking the worm and then throwing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll do that in my post, and then I'll just watch them all go ballistic with each other, and then I just read it all day, and I just amuse myself. But I did have to block the one person because their comments were racist, but in defense of her, I don't think she understood that her comments were racist. Like, it's just hard to explain that. But I do think, like, on Fox News, when I'm fighting with them, like, all their comments are so, like, racist. And I don't know if they understand that. Jen, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes. And you can't discuss with them. Like, there's just no reasoning.
Right. There's
They have their way they're thinking, and that is it.
Right. And so yeah, those are like some of my favorite to instigate. But now I feel like I need to go. So is there a fight between the stay-at-home moms and the working moms ever?
There's really not.
No.
I mean, there have been posts, but like
it gets shut down quickly.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty vanilla for the stuff they talk about. They get like just weird things come up on that board. All
right. So another thing that I've noticed, obviously, is that like a board will trigger another board to start, and then there'll be the battle of the boards.
It happens with a lot of podcasts where they have like crossover of like hosts and guests. Mm-hmm. And like one group like of podcast fans will like listen to the other one because their person was on it, and then it's